I have had some problems with an SD cards this summer, obviously. A lot of footage is not usable, not readable, or simply just missing. That's life. There's not much I can do about that, but I'm trying to mix together some videos anyways. It affects, of course, the content of the first episodes here. It gets better along the way, and later on I've switched to the next SD cards because this one was full. It's now out of active duty and will not be reused, but yeah, it's a bummer. The first few days is totally gone. I had autopilot problems again. Needed to I fitted a second-hand fluxgate compass. That didn't solve the problem. Everything was pointing in the direction of the fluxgate, so I ordered a new one. It was a bit of waiting. Our original cruising plans went down the drain, of course, because we were waiting for parts and needed to go to places where we could reach them to have them mailed to us. So of course the whole summer turned out to be very different than what we had planned, but it was some nice sailing, and it was a beautiful time on the boat anyway. So I hope you get something out of the videos. I'll try to make it watchable, but if you feel that there is something missing, that's probably right. And I'm sorry about that, but that's the way life is. Thank you anyway for stopping by, and enjoy the video. A short little update. The autopilot fix did not work. The fluxgate that I mounted was not working. It seems to be the fluxgate that is the problem of the autopilot. So I've ordered one today, and I will get that in the end of the week, I hope. So our cruising plans got changed a little bit. The weather has turned rather miserably. Tomorrow is going to be really good, and this afternoon is not going to be too bad. So I did a test of the autopilot yesterday. We moved from Brandasund and headed into the archipelago around Vemlo and Fitjar and these island groups, and yeah, we have anchored in a small cove at yeah, Eikelandsosen. So I'm currently hiking at Eikelandsosen. So I have reached the highest point. It's right up here, but I had to go down here because it's too windy up there. But on the lee side it's quite nice. So I'll just let you have a look around. Today and tomorrow I'm just going to do small boat projects, and we're going to use this beautiful sunny day just relaxing in this cove. It's perfect anchoring space for, or a spot for at least one boat, and it's protected in most weather directions. So yeah, I'll have a swoop around with the camera and let you have a look around. bit windy. We are at the anchorage. Yesterday we went for a hike and we enjoyed the day, paddled around a little bit in the dinghy and so on. Today has been a really beautiful day, calm, and the night was perfect. But tonight we are expecting some of a blow, so yeah, I've prepped the boat now for the night. I'm gonna keep the anchor alarm on. There is good holding in the bottom, I hope. I got a 5-to-1 scope out, so that's quite good. So yeah, and the anchor has been sitting now after I dug it in really well. It's been sitting for more than a day, so it's been wiggling its way into the ground, so I'm not worried about dragging at all. Otherwise, done some small bits and bobs on the boat. The biggest thing that I've done is replacing this unit. This is the fair lead up front here. See, this has a different color. This is brand new. It's original. Has the Bavaria text on it. But this hole is not drilled to the new one. And this is bent quite badly out of shape, broken, so yeah. What I decided to do, I will mount this like so, leave it on the boat until I'm back home. Then I'm going to drill a pilot hole from the inside and through the fair lead, and then I will take it off the boat, countersink the hole and put the screw back in, or the fastener back in. So yeah, otherwise snap a line on the chain, secure to the deck cleat, dinghy on deck, strap down, enclosure closed up, sail cover on. I guess we're good to go. So it's a warm night. It's supposed to be above 20 degrees Celsius all night, so that's quite good. A bit warm for my taste, so yeah, hope it's not going to be too rough in here. It's not going to be waves, but the gust could be unpredictable, so we'll see what happens. So yeah, tomorrow we're moving on, so I'll try to shoot some video then. Hope the weather is not too grey. We motored to this location from Nilo på Skjæret to test the autopilot. That did not work. The fluxgate seems to be the problem. I've ordered a brand new one, so I'll get that sometime next week. So we'll fit that then, and until then we have to make do without an autopilot. So it's a bummer, but that's life. So yeah, that of course affects where we are going and so on. So that's boat life for you. And the weather is really unpredictable. Never seen so many wind changes in a day. Completely opposite several times a day, and quite strong winds from the north and from the south. And everything in between, but generally north and south. So it's weird. So it's going to be quite blowy tonight, and I guess until 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll give you an update before we leave. It's the next morning. We just left the anchorage. It was a windy night. I guess it gusted around 40 knots, and yeah, just hoisted the anchor and watered out and tidied up the foredeck, and now I set the main. I'm gonna set the foresail as well, but I'm gonna have breakfast first. So in between here, the winds are so light that at the moment it's gonna fill in quite a bit, but I guess the foresail would mostly just collapse, so I have to wait a little bit to set the foresail. But the main is just keeping us in the right direction. So yeah, we are going to head up towards this fish farm, and we're going to turn this way. So going to a shop, and then we're going to a different anchorage, and yeah, we'll see what the day brings. So this is another entrance into the cove that we were anchored in. This is too shallow to get through with most boats. At high tide you can get through with a small motorboat or a outboard, but otherwise you have to go around. It's really beautiful landscape up here. These windmills are windmills that's stored. If you've seen the videos, you've seen them from other directions before. And yeah, fish farms as usual. So yeah, the winds are really light. While I was talking, the sail decided on a jibe. So I'm gonna let the main sheet over as well. Hope for a bit more wind. It's gonna blow a bit later on from the north, so I want to get across here, because then I'm heading downwind, so that would be good. So I hope for a wind change by the end of this stretch. So yeah, I'll let you have an update later on. Autopilot is not working, so it's hand steering all the way today. As you can see, the current is now against us quite a bit, but lately, the last 10 minutes, we have had good winds, following winds, so we've done good speed down this stretch, but now we are struggling with quite a bit of current. But luckily the wind seems to stay. If it disappears now, I'm gonna have to start the engine, because otherwise I'm going backwards. So yeah, we're just coasting along. You have a bit of distance to cover today, so yeah, just enjoying the day. It's gonna rain later on, so try to get as much sailing done when the weather is nice. So I just dropped the sails right back here. We are heading to a marina halfway down to this bridge. The reason why we started the engine now, the wind died completely, and there is some crazy lightning going on. It's been catching up on us, and now the wind died, and I dropped the sails, and now the wind came from where the thunder is, so I guess it's getting close, so it's time to get into the marina. So yeah, that's what we're doing. The weather has taken a turn for the worse. There was some crazy lightning in between the last clip and this one, and we just dropped the sails and headed into a marina called Sagvåg Marina. It's not very nice, but it was a place for shelter. By the time we got there, it was more or less gone. There was one thunder squall passing by after we arrived, but then we went to the shops because that was our main goal. We were going to sail to Sagvåg and go to the grocery store and get some stuff, and so we took care of that and headed back out to sea. Now it's rainy. It's not that pleasant, but it is wind and you can sail, and yeah, it's all good. So we are heading for our anchorage. So yeah, I'll show you around here and I'll tell you where we are going. So you can see this bridge behind the trees here. That is an alternative bridge to get down this sound. Unfortunately, I'm too tall to get through there, so I don't dare to risk going under that bridge. So I have to go under the bridge behind here instead and come around this key sticking out there. And now I'm heading down between some islands, and in the background you can see a mountain in the mist or in the rain, and just where the forestay is almost, there is a key sticking out. That is the point that I'm aiming for. I'm going to round that one and head back this way a little bit, and there is a little bay there called Svinavika, and I'm going to drop the hook in there. That's the plan anyway. So I'll just keep a lookout here because this is a bit narrow and a bit shallow. Well, the anchor is down. Yeah, the sail went really well after the last update. We rounded this key that I was talking about, and went in on the backside, and this is the little cove. It's called Svinavika, at least on the map. And it looks quite tranquil and nice if you look behind me. But on the other side, not so much. So I was planning on anchoring where all of these buoys are placed. I think there is some boats being stationed here, some bits of the air, fishing vessel or something. So, and on the inside it was a bit too tight for an anchoring. And oh, you have this little bay here. But then we get to the not so much part. So I guess this anchorage was not as private as I had thought. This these houses, it's probably a nice place to live, but they're not pretty in my eyes anyway. The old part of the community looks nice. So it's quite shallow, a muddy bottom, I guess, and about 12 meters deep. It's totally protected in here, so I haven't got the biggest scope up because it's quite tight around everything. But the anchor is set well, and yeah, we're just staying one night, and there's no winds forecasted. So tomorrow we are leaving for Leirvik. We're gonna visit some people there, and the trip from here to Leirvik, I'm not going to bother recording that. It's just straight across the fjord. It's nothing to see. But when we leave Leirvik at Friday morning, sometime not too late in the day, I mean, we're gonna head down in this direction again and visit some other islands that is supposed to be quite beautiful. So that I'm going to record, so it's no use just recording the same bit twice. That's gonna be more exciting. So yeah, I'll stay off the camera tomorrow, and yeah, catch you again next time. Thank you for watching.